The Unagi E350 Electric Scooter. This thing is compact, it's lightweight, and it's very much Apple design, but it's not made by Apple, don't get me wrong. There are things I really love about this, and there's some things that, well, I think could be better or different, or maybe they're just my own personal preference. So find out in this review.
It's a scooter. Let's unbox it and do a scooter review. ASMR time. I've taken the microphone off, so audio warning now. Well, this is good. You can see there's actually a little divot, so you can only line this up but one way. Same too with the bar, because it's got like a triangular shape. It's a good design feature. The hardest part of putting this thing together was definitely the handlebars. The little tiny pins, I was afraid of damaging them, and also pushing this in deep enough to be able to line up the screw holes was the other hard part. But overall, it was actually very easy to put together, and it feels solid. Like, everything on this thing is premium quality materials. The aluminium, the plastics, I'm impressed. All put together, but there's two leftover screws, which is always a worry, but I guess the spares. Yeah, let's get it charging and out on the road.
I gotta start off this review by talking about its looks, and mate, it is sleek and modern, and that unibody of the deck and the stalk riser is superbly built. That tiny aluminium kickstand is tiny, but surprisingly it does the job. The front LED light is very bright and usable in dark conditions, measuring 47 lumens of brightness. Hidden inside that deck is a 72,000 amp hour or 864 watt hour battery, and they're made from Sony batteries, so you're gonna know you're gonna be getting actually some good longevity out of this thing. The Unagi E350 scooter has a claimed range of 24 kilometers, but if you ask me, that's in level 1, which is a slower speed, which is like 15 kilometers per hour maximum, and perhaps with a lighter frame compared to me. I was using it always on level 3 because I'm used to scooters, and I only got actually 14 kilometers out of this, maybe 15. It does this cute thing whereby when you get into the critically low point of the battery, red icon comes on and it beeps at you, knowing that it's definitely time to recharge. Recharging is done through this adapter, which takes a good 4 to 5 hours. On the left side of the handlebars, you've got this button that acts as your horn, and I found that people didn't know what was happening, and pressing it, sure, it's loud, but it kind of is like, what is that? I think a bell would be better. I don't know, that's just a personal preference. Below that button is your brake lever, and it actually works quite well. It's electronic, and you wouldn't know it. I found stopping distance to be reasonable, in fact maybe even quite good, and if you add to it your foot on the rear fender, it brakes quite nicely. To turn the scooter on and off, you just press and hold this center button, and it's got a bright-ish LCD screen which displays your speed, the amount of battery you have, and levels 1, 2 or 3 indicating your top speed maximum, so 15, 20 or 25 kilometers per hour. In bright sunny conditions, it's not that visible from an angle, but if you're actually looking up and over like you would normally when you're riding it, it's perfectly fine. That on-off button also acts as a light on and off. On the right side of the handlebars, this button acts as your trip computer and total kilometers traveled. The same button also acts as your change between your level 1, 2 and 3. So you double press it and it goes from P mode, which I'm going to explain away as essentially like a neutral mode. So you can actually roll this with the E350 scooter on, and you keep double pressing it to go through level 1, 2 and 3, and that will dictate the top speed. Beneath that is the throttle lever, which in my opinion actually travels a bit too far for my liking. Perhaps I'm just used to other electric scooters, but this actually goes quite a distance all the way up and down. Obviously for you, if you've got different hands to me, you might actually say it's completely fine, but I think, yeah, it'd be nicer if it was actually less travel in it. On the rear fender, you've got a constant LED light that's nice and bright and very visible at night time, and this also acts as your secondary brake. And finally, a real feature of the Unagi E350 scooter is its deck, which is both compact and short, which means to say that you can get it into and out of your boot quite easily. So you drive somewhere, maybe to the train station, and then you use this scooter to get for that last mile of getting to and from work. This is awesome because it's so compact. Check how this thing folds down. That is unheard of. It's relatively light, coming in around about 12 kilograms. And believe you me, for electric scooters, that is light. And look, it just seems to be hovering, floating. There's no engagement with the rear here, but you can be confident in this mechanism. It is actually really robust and strong. And getting it into and out of, let's say, that car, it's dead easy. When you do get to your destination, to unfold it, my top tip is this. Just give it a little wiggle and press the lever down. That's it. Look how fast that was. It's brilliant. As I alluded to in the introduction, this is the Apple of electric scooters. The materials they're using here are just second to none. Made from machined aluminium with embedded silicon, Terray carbon fiber tube, that's like the same carbon fiber as Elon Musk's SpaceX rockets, and magnesium handlebar. The deck is one seamless surface and it combines a piece of machined aluminium embedded with that silicon on top. These zero air tires are okay, but I would much rather prefer pneumatic ones. They're great for urban commuting, don't get me wrong. Places like this where you're at a park, maybe going to and from the station on a road, you get the idea. But when you're getting over uneven surfaces, you definitely feel the bumps coming up through the handlebars and your legs. And the narrow nature is not reassuring at all when you're on uneven surfaces such as rocks and gravel. So what are my final thoughts on the Unagi E350 scooter? First up, I need you to know that this was provided to me for review, and what I'm about to say has been not shaped by that. So perhaps let's kick off with the cons, shall we? First, those small tires and short deck mean that it's definitely not going to be usable on uneven terrain, gravel and the like. This is firmly an urban scooter. And in terms of urban scooters, this one is absolutely up there and I would highly recommend it. It's light, it's compact, it ticks all the boxes in terms of build quality. You can't get a better built electric scooter than this one. For those who like to tinker around with settings and apps, this doesn't have it either. And I really do not care about that because I've had scooters where they are included, and do I ever use them ever? No, I don't. If you think you need to, you'll be surprised. You don't need it. I'm not a huge fan of the throttle, but for you, it might be fine. Its claimed range of 24 kilometers on a full charge, I don't think it's going to be realized if you're going to be having it on level 3 and you weigh something like me. If you are lighter or you want to go slower, I reckon you definitely get it. But remember, with all electric scooters, it's all around what type of riding you do, how fast you accelerate, and what your weight is. Would I buy it? You know what? I would. If I had my time over again and I didn't have an electric scooter already, this would absolutely be in my garage. It would be in the boot of my car and I would be enjoying it on the weekends for the fun of it. I love its design, the materials, its small compact nature, its lightweight. It's speedy enough for me and definitely powerful enough for me. See how it got away from me? I had a few spills in this thing because that 350 watt motor took me by surprise. If you're thinking of getting an electric scooter, I highly recommend you get out there and give this a go because you won't be disappointed and you'll feel and you'll experience what a good quality scooter actually feels like. And especially if you actually hire one of those ones you can get out and about in the city, this is right up there, I promise you. Alright, so if you've enjoyed this video, please do consider giving me a subscribe. It's absolutely free. If you want to see behind the scenes, learn about electric vehicles, renewables, and stuff that you just don't get here on YouTube, consider joining me on Patreon where you get all this and a lot more from as little as $2.50 per month. And as per usual, please, you be good and you be green.